A happy Friday to you, and thanks for being here. I'm Lauren Maloney. A Vermont Superior Court judge placed a temporary restraining order on the Department for Children and Families, blocking its ability to remove people from the state's hotel-motel program for the time being. This comes after Vermont Legal Aid brought a complaint about recent evictions to the court. ABC 22's Matt Holderman is live in the newsroom after hearing from Vermont DCF and an attorney with Legal Aid today. So, Matt, what did they have to say?
Well, Lauren, the attorney I spoke with says they pushed to get this restraining order because they had heard from people who claim to have been kicked out of their hotel and motel rooms without notice. And they argue that DCF should have to give people advance notice and a chance to challenge their voucher terminations. And the Vermont Superior Court judge agreed.
The people in this program, they are elderly, they are disabled. They don't deserve to be treated like they don't matter.
A big win for homelessness advocates in Vermont to start the month of May, as no one will be removed from their hotel or motel rooms for at least the next 2 weeks. Vermont Superior Court Judge Sam Hoare signed a temporary restraining order against the Vermont Department for Children and Families, saying it must give people with hotel and motel vouchers advance notice before evicting them and give them the chance to challenge their evictions. And for the time being, DCF can no longer evict anyone.
This is an important victory for the rule of law and the people of Vermont because the judge said, yes, people in these motels have due process rights.
Leah Burdick is an attorney with Vermont Legal Aid who helped get the temporary restraining order put in place. She says ever since last year, when the state legislature and Governor Scott approved an 80-day cap on how long people are allowed to stay in the program, some have complained about being kicked out before they believe their 80 days are up and only being given hours to remove all of their belongings from their rooms.
What we are really concerned about is these day of hours before a checkout time when they had every expectation that they were still eligible for another set of days, that they were told, nope, get out. This order tells the department that's not how this works.
The order will now remain in place until there's a hearing, which has been set for Friday, May 16th. At that hearing, Vermont Legal Aid hopes to get a preliminary injunction, which would basically elongate the period of time DCF is prohibited from evicting anyone. Vermont DCF Commissioner Chris Winters commented on the order Friday afternoon, saying the department will comply with it, but not indicating how they might respond to it in court. He writes in part, quote, DCF is in receipt of the court order and is enacting changes to ensure compliance with this temporary order. Households are receiving notification of their rights to maintain housing and appeal any denial or termination. Asked Burdick how far in advance she thinks people should be notified of their upcoming evictions. And while she didn't give an exact number of days, she did tell me it should be long enough to where people can dispute it if they want. Again, they will continue fighting this battle in court against Vermont DCF 2 weeks from now, and we will be sure to let you know of any new developments. For now, reporting live in the newsroom, Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News.